leverage their software to infect with their ransomware. So instead of just having one large corporation now being held ransom, they have 1,500 companies being held ransom.
Unlike a lot of technology companies, this area is pretty easy to understand. The hack affected companies in at least 18 countries, including Australia, closing down supermarkets in Sweden and impacting kindergartens in New Zealand. And discover how Kaseya can help you simplify your systems management tasks.
This is a really good example of REvil trying to maximise harm by hitting one organisation that provided services to thousands of others. They demanded a ransom in that case of $70 million.
The attack came only weeks after President Biden called on President Putin to rein in Russia's cybercriminals.
I did what I came to do.
The US made an arrest and the gang's leak site went offline. Then, in a surprise move, in 2022, Russian intelligence raided 14 members of the group. But it wasn't the end of REvil's ransomware.
The guys that they arrested were all very young men. They were primarily affiliates. They were not the core members of the gang. They weren't the ransomware developers. They weren't the ones supporting all these operations. They were simply the people that were the hired hackers. It doesn't stop the attacks. They can just come back under a new name and continue business as usual.
Wow, I have been providing initial access.
The hacker we spoke to earlier told us the 14 members were now out of jail, and that he was supporting Russia's war effort by providing initial access to Ukrainian-owned infrastructure. John DiMaggio was not surprised. He believes that the original masterminds behind REvil are hacking for Russia.
They are supporting the war in the Ukraine. Think about it, even as affiliates, they're some of the best hackers in the world. So I 100% believe that that is how Russia is utilizing them. They're helping the Russian intelligence services, creating malware and facilitating attacks against the Ukraine to sort of better the mission of Russia.
As the war in Ukraine loomed, DiMaggio says Russia's cybercriminals were given an ultimatum. Hack for your country, or your assets will be seized and you'll go to jail.
We know that these crime gangs have always had a pretty cosy relationship with Russian intelligence and security agencies. We've seen those leveraged during the Russian-Ukraine war. We've seen in particular some groups that have come out and said, our allegiance is to Russia, and we will engage in activities to support Russia's cause and to undermine Ukraine.
In Ukraine, cyber attacks are about more than just money. They're about life and death. We've come to Kyiv to track the Russian cyber gangs targeting Australia. We're on the way to the agency responsible for protecting Ukraine, including against cyber attacks. Robert Potter, co-founder of Australian cybersecurity company Internet 2.0, is taking us there.
So we're heading up to SBU headquarters. The SBU is the primary domestic intelligence agency of Ukraine.
It's like our ASIO.
It's equivalent to our ASIO or MI5.
Security is tight. The SBU would be one of Moscow's top targets.
I'm going to need to switch that on.
Hello.
The man we've come to meet is Ilya Vityuk, the country's senior cyber intelligence officer.
That's me.
Great. Thank you very much.
That's okay. I'm sure you don't go around handing out cards too often, yeah? In your job? Australians know about the invasion, the physical war, but are there now two wars going on?
They combine cyber attacks with special psychological information operations, and they do combine cyber attacks with kinetic attacks. Cyber attacks accompany missile attacks on our energy sector since October. So they tried to destroy IT infrastructure of power plants and distribution companies simultaneously with cyber attacks to cause more damage and to make people suffer even more.
What can Australia learn from Ukraine's experience with Russian hackers?
No other country in the world has faced what Ukraine has faced in cyber domain, first of all. And the experience we have how to withstand when your enemy is more powerful is crucial. We've invented and used different kinds of algorithm techniques, tools that have proved their effectiveness. And we are ready to share this knowledge and this experience with the world.
In another part of the city, Internet 2.0 is working to strengthen Ukraine's cyber defence. The other founder, David Robinson, has just arrived.
Yes, fascinating whole protection of Ukrainian sort of infrastructure.
I mean, the amazing thing is we can see the international cyber war on our dashboards all over the world. If the Russians, for example, were hacking one of the computer networks we're protecting, the systems can detect, flag that Russian cyber attack using algorithms, using lots of pieces of technology, all in the cybersecurity industry, in order to identify, flag, and then view that threat, and then we can basically block it.
The team's security engineer, Rafik Jabrailov, has already got to work. Here he's monitoring Russian cyber attacks.
So when someone in Russia makes an attack, you can see that here?
Yes,
in real time.
In real time, with the live data, we can see their IP addresses. We can detect their rough estimated locations.
It's a never-ending battle, isn't it?
Yes, it's basically a cyber war going between engineers and attackers. So, as you said, it's never ending, and as much as they are improving their skills, we need to do it twice, 3 times more to be ahead of them.
It is the first war in history between two major cyber powers, Russia and Ukraine. We've never seen this before. And right from the beginning,